Welcome to Mundane Mysteries of a Muslim podcast. Drops every fortnight, the most mundane topic hitting your Muslim neighbours.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of Mundane Mysteries of a Muslim. Yay! Today we have our returning person, Nuha.
Hey, walaikum salam.
And we have a new person joining the crew, Nilüfer.
Walaikum salam, lady.
Did I give you salam or did I just...
She didn't.
You give salam. Oh, hello,
lady.
lady.
I don't know. Did I give salam? You know, I got the memory of a fish.
Yeah, no, you did. You did.
Yeah. Okay, if I did, fair enough, alhamdulillah. It just reminds me of another time when a friend of mine, she left the bus. I won't mention the name. I'm pretty sure some of you might know who she is. And you know, when you get off the bus from the mega bus, in uni, in stagecoach buses, and it automatically she just salamed the bus driver, non-Muslim by the way. She said, "Assalamu alaikum."
It's because it's automatic. It's just
And I was like, why are you salaming him?
Yeah.
I didn't salam. She refused to believe that she salamed him.
Yeah.
I said, honestly, I swear down, you salamed him. And she refused. She goes,
well,
I don't remember.
No, my eldest boy still questions. But how do you know the difference between who's a Muslim and who's not a Muslim? Still, obviously, still young, he's still learning. But he, the other day, said to me, "Oh, I said Assalamu alaikum to the man." And I said, well, "He's not Muslim." And then he went, "What's the difference?" So then we delved into, they look like this, but so my uncle doesn't looks the same as that man.
Yeah,
it's a valid point because I remember one time, sorry, completely off a tangent. There's this man, Asian-looking man, Indian, I think he was. And I salamed him, and 2 seconds later, his Hindu wife came next to him. So I just salamed automatically.
Yeah, because
but I think, you know, it's perception.
Yeah, I do know what, actually, I think
it
is a good habit. I think us guys at work, especially working with non-Muslims, I feel like I was saying that to you actually, that every time when she rings, first, Assalamu alaikum, before I can even say hello. And I'm thinking, this one just...
Bro, we got to cash in on the
I know.
She
gets there before you even can say hello. I can.
Yeah, but that's because of the environment where I work.
Yeah.
I'm just constantly around Muslims.
Yeah.
That's a blessing in its own sense. Because, you know, again, a lot of friends that I know work in so many different types of environment, like, you know, like sub NHS and corporate world and things like that. And the Muslim sort of like slang vocab is very minimal, and I think, you know, it's hard not to. For me, especially being surrounded by Muslims 24/7, basically. If I go into a non-Muslim environment, I find it hard to say that inshallah. I'm not trying to figure out what's another word for inshallah. Hopefully. That's my go-to word. Hopefully, especially on emails. Hopefully, I'll see you on the 30th of August or whatever day.
And then you end up kind of feeling bad, like I didn't say inshallah.
Yeah.
I didn't say inshallah.
No, but I made the intention. Kind of, the thing is, I made the intention. That word hopefully is God willing. And again, depending on the context, if it's, for example, someone that I've worked with for a number of years, I might put in the word God willing. But I've not done it recently. But anyway, going back on track, today we want to discuss a few important issues. So as you guys may be or may not be aware, the Tate brothers are back in the news again. So for those of you who don't know, the British-born brothers, I don't know how many siblings they have, but they're very controversial in terms of their views. Some people accuse them of misogyny because they talk about masculinity and femininity. But funnily enough, when they first started talking about masculinity and you know, how it is to be a man, they themselves went on TikTok and social media. Other people put clips of them on social media, and then they kind of exploded over the last 2-3 years. And I think they've had a huge role to play in terms of discussions around masculinity, femininity, the household structure, social structures within society. So my topic that I'd like to discuss is basically, do you think the family unit as a whole, not just within the Muslim community, but generally, especially here in the UK, do you think the family unit is deteriorating? So I'll start off with you, Nilüfer.
So currently, in our household, we've got a wedding going on, and in previous weddings, it'd be like everybody would get together in the household, and everybody would just, you know, and would live together and whatever. But recent days, we've all gone into our homes, and you know, I do feel like it's a lot more healthier now. It was nice living together, but like I said, I feel like it's a lot more healthier, and you know, we see each other not so often, but we see each other, and when we do see each other, it's like, oh yeah, we're catching up. But then I do see the other side of things, like it's like become a bit like a friendship relationship more than. But I don't know. But then I think of my parents' time, and when we all lived together, uncles, aunties, whatever, it was nice. I did like it.
But do you not think by living in, especially here in the UK, obviously when you're living abroad, you might be living in a village where there's a vast amount, physically, there's a vast amount of space. So obviously, people have their own living quarters, then they'll have the shared, dining area, eating area, you'll have the courtyard and whatnot, and the acres and acres of land, or especially, like I said, if you're from a village area. But here in the UK, you live in a terrace house, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, at most a 4-bedroom terrace house, if you've got attics and things like that. So if there's like 9 people, and you're a couple within a family, do you not think like
you say that
mentally is it not?
But isn't it just our fathers' years, our parents' years that there was 3 separate families living under one household. So is it that it's become healthier, or is it that people have become less tolerant, or is it that everybody's wanting rights without giving their rights?
I mean, you're saying rights within quotations, rights of the day. Oh, my rights.
Yeah,
but back then maybe they did live together, and you're saying it was fun. Well, it was fun, but maybe there were things that.
But was it fun because you were younger?
I was younger, yeah, and I wasn't aware of what was going on there.
But who said the word? Who said tolerant means that it's ease? When you're tolerant of anything, you're gonna go through a process of hardship or acceptance and thingy. So it's not. I'm not saying that it was easy back there, or they were tolerant, making the environment easy for everyone else.
Going back to the point, is it our perception that it was easier because again we were young and we weren't aware of these issues?
No, because I think even youngsters, even as I'm the eldest child in the family, we read off like our parents' emotions and stuff. Well, yeah, I knew what my mom went through. We can see, but we also saw like what benefits it brought in the household. And so, yeah, I know I would never be able to speak for our elder generation and what they went through and how it was, but I can see that even in the new generation, the living by, it's not what Joyce is living alone. There's so much. What's Joyce? There's extra bills, there's stress.
Because of what we saw, our generation saw with our parents, our aunties, or whatever. But do you think that's the reason why now people are going into their little homes? They don't want to go through what their parents went through.
But they're going through another pandemic of depression and sadness and no help, and then they're scared to have more than one child because who's going to look after them, and they're mentally stressed. And so what it's just a different struggle.
Yeah, no, I agree with the parts of your comments and things, but I think it's not to say that the older generation didn't struggle, because I'm sure there's a lot of mental health issues.
Yeah,
that they struggle, whether it was the men or the women, because our father's generation, uncle's generation, they were one of them where we had the men, we had the providers, go out work for God knows how many hours, especially in the factories or sewing machine, industries or whatever it was. It was physical manual labor, and they'd come home and they'd, again, bring in the shopping and whatnot, and the mother would look at, or the wife, would look after all the children and take them to and from school. And I think, again, I don't know how your experiences were, but was there more like a communal upbringing rather than just it was your mum and dad? So meaning like, were your neighbours involved? And
yeah, of course. That's the
was
thing.
Was it more like a village support? Rather than just leaving you to you and your family, which I feel is what you're trying to say, that everyone, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but I feel it's good to have a detached home because then you got your own physical space, but at the same time, what Nuhas was mentioning, that it leads to isolation at the same time.
So,
I guess there's pros and cons in both.
Yeah, but he's talking about like struggles. They had different struggles, we've got different struggles.
Sure.
So, but each type of struggle has its own community. So like the daughter-in-laws back in the days, they had their struggles and they had a community of daughter-in-laws that they can talk to. It's like the Slimming World. You go to your group, or it's the same
The
nowadays.
daughter-in-law group.
Yeah, you know, and then the mother-in-law do, and they're complaining about their own, you know, daughter-in-laws or mother. Every struggle, whether it's a father's, dad's social club, they all had struggles. They had different struggles, and they had their own social group with them struggles. We've got our own struggles now, but I find, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. The struggles nowadays, people.
No, but you're entitled to your opinion, so that's what we discussed today, isn't it?
Nowadays, they don't, because they are isolated, because their struggle group is it's a struggle to find the struggle group. so for example, a mom, working mom, with children, where because they're working, they're busy, they haven't got, even to find their struggle group is a struggle. To find working mom who are working, to have time to talk to them is a struggle. No,
I think that's the issue here, though, is that the roles have, like, women are working now, so to live in a house where it is more than one family, you're expected, your female role that is still expected in that household.
But who's asked you to work? If you're living in a household, the financial pressure should be less than if you're living in one household. It's we chose to work. We want to work. Women want all responsibilities. They want to take it all.
Is that what you think? No, I don't think it's that. I think that it is generally is cost of living now. It is.
But if you're living in one house, if you're
in a household, even then everything is triple. You're eating and you're feeding yourself, your kids, or to have a car. Even one car now is expensive.
So you rather double struggle by living by I'm an advocate by that. I love big families. I love living in one household. I love like the idea of support constantly. Because now, you know, moms, when they have new babies or before them, I know mother-in-laws, but they were you can go to the bathroom in peace, or you can just have a little nap in peace. Or
I think having that freedom in your own home outweighs all that. Like, even for me, I'm saying, like, if I was living in a household, I think generally, I think it's to do with even what I'm wearing as well. Like, I can't just come in and wear a t-shirt in front of male members of the family, or I can do that in my own home, even if it is struggling with a baby that's crying and I can't hand it over to someone, hand the baby to someone. So I rather do that in a t-shirt on my own than be stuck in a household full of male members, female members, 10 people under that roof, and I'm struggling, and then I rather struggle with the baby, and then that, than be like, oh, you know, I know it's little things like that, but it's a big thing when you see it as a bigger picture every single day, daily life. Like, you're, you know, constantly worrying about, you know, I go to the toilet, like, be like, well, let me rush to the bathroom, I'm living under the, I have to, like, I'm dressed up, and I've got babies, and, you know, you can't just go like that, realistically. It's
so
hard.
Do you think your freedom is restricted if you're living with the extended
freedom
family?
As in not freedom of speech or freedom of going out or freedom
freedom to be, you know, not loose, but freedom, you know, comfortable.
So just for that period of time in your life, are you willing to sacrifice every other benefit that you get from living in a household? The thing is, like, you would not know any different now because you weren't living in a house. If you're not living in a household, the chance or opportunity to build on the relationship, whether it's with your mother-in-laws or sister-in-laws, or it's lost. So, like you said, we've become friends now, and we're very polite now. And we're thinking,
I like it because even now the wedding period that we're going on at the moment, it's actually really nice. I'm there from like 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock at night, and it's nice. And even if I'm
is that because it's your choice to be there?
It's my choice to be,
the expectation to
okay,
be there.
turning the tables round now, when you become old, you're the mom, and you have no one in your household, all them years of sacrificing for your kids, and you're alone now. It's not because you don't, it's not by choice. You need people around, and you don't have them people. Roles are reversed. You're the auntie of a household now, and you don't get to see your brother's kids because they're separate, and you know, you don't have the same bonds as that. So you're losing out on relationships. And for us as Muslims, our whole religion is based on relationships and ties of kinships and groups. Everywhere
but
you
can
look,
still have that
the
relationship.
blessings
you don't
are
need
in
to
groups.
live under a roof to have that relationship.
But you can't.
I know you say friendship, but it's not really friendship. A friendship is like this circle here, friendship. But the relationship I've got with, just say, my sister-in-law is a different relationship. It's family. They are
familiar
family.
relationship.
Yeah, it's different. So
Mm.
I do have. It is healthy. It's a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Pardon me. No, I understand some of the points Noha is making. I think there is a niceness to having a big family. You know, again, it's that socializing, that enjoyment, splitting
It's
costs,
support.
you know, physical, mental, you know, financial. And just going back to the point of you mentioned about employment for women and things like that, I think especially again in this day and age, women are expected to work. You know, obviously we know Islamically it's a choice, X, Y, Z. But realistically, you know, for a lot of women, it's that financial freedom that they have by working, or it's that necessity because of the cost of living, Brexit, just whatever, or if they're living alone in their home with the husband, husband may not have the best of jobs or not enough money coming in, and again, it's a secondary income that tops up their lifestyle. You know, or if it's a divorced woman or widowed woman, she might have expenses.
Yeah.
You know, so things. You know, and I again, I think especially if a woman's single and she's going into marriage, for example, looking to get married, then that expectation should be made clear whether or not she wants to work. So she might say that actually I'm working now, but I have no desire to work at all once I'm married. Or if I choose to work, I'll only work part time. Or I want to keep my job and work full time. And if kids come along, then we'll hire someone to look after the kids. Because I've got people that I know that have got mashallah high flying jobs and they work about 20 or 26 hours a week. So the kids need to be looked after, and they hire let those money maids to come in and clean and all that sort of stuff. And again, it's not being judgmental on that. It's because women can't do it all, and I think that's going on to the next topic: is are we losing our femininity as women?
We've shot ourselves in the foot, definitely.
Yeah,
we think this is freedom, this is thingy. And again, I think everybody's selling this idea of freedom through work and freedom.
Yes.
I think we're chained by it through work. Work should be something that, for us women, Muslim women, is something that we want to do, not maybe for our own money, finance, but it's because we have ambitions, maybe, or something we want to. Not for because you have to go to work to provide for your family. We've shot us and then come home and do, because I think, and I don't know about what you guys think, but I think women naturally have the what do you call it, to look after the maternal naturally. They're home provide home bodies naturally. So we go out to work and then we complain about the household. But the men can go out to work and they can come back into a house full of upside down, but they don't complain because it's not in their. I don't think it's in their nature to even. But we've shot ourselves in the foot because we will go to work, we come back home, we still want to do all the things with the kids, we still want a nice house, we still want to entertain guests and host and do all the 101 things that women do, and then we're working.
I don't get them women, because if my husband had a steady income, he was had a good income, I wouldn't work at all. The 10 hours I do, to be honest, is social for me. Mentally gets me, is for me to go out. Even it's not even financial, I don't even put money towards anything, but I think if he had a good income,
but that's you've balanced yourself, because you've actually worked for only that little period of time you have free. You turn that into, I can work, I can just chill out, or it's not.
So I don't get pressure. Them women who work and then they complain when they get home because the house isn't tidy, or they've not got their cooking, their children don't look tidy, or their children not done their homework, when they've got a choice not to work. Now, if you're working because you want to get yourself through the makeup, or you want to get your expensive stuff.
No endorsement there. I thought you were going to say Rihanna's Fenty, whatever it's called.
None of us are.
If it's for that reason, I don't get it. Like, why are you killing yourself? Like,
no, I don't. I think on a more serious note, I don't think women would just do it for the makeup sort of thing. But
or to go out for meals, or
yeah, but this is what I mean. So a lot of women that I know, they might work just to top up their lifestyle. So the husband might be just about getting by, but because of the niceties that they want, for example, the extra holiday, or just a holiday in general, or the £200 bag, or the £300 Fenty Fenty whatever makeup stuff. Clearly, I know my brands.
Yeah.
Them sort of things. Again, they don't want to put that burden on their husbands.
No, I get that,
or the families.
Is it worth? Is all that? Is a holiday worth you working?
You want to spend time with your family.
1 week. Is that worth
the 300 days
that you're missing out on your family?
No. I understand what you're saying, but it's not just the one holiday. It's also the extra things. For example, getting a nice pair of shoes for the son, getting a nice pair of shoes for the daughter. Taking them out to the zoo, the play areas. The things cost.
No.
Cost a lot of money.
I've noticed this.
Free, unfortunately.
If you maintain stuff, then you don't have to buy stuff. So
no, but I'm not.
Because if you're not in the house,
thing to buy. I'm talking about experiences and spending that quality time with the children, especially if you want them to, you want to build those core memories with them as they grow up. People want to do those things. Kids, mashallah, alhamdulillah.
I know you do. And we have a few in our household. Every time we've gone anywhere, spent money on, expensive holidays or outings, or they just want to be in each other's company.
Yeah,
they don't want to be in Legoland. They don't want to be in thingy. They just want to. They find a little little park thing and sandpit. And I'm talking, I've seen them all age from out in our house. There's about 15 of little kids. They're all at the same age, mashallah. And we've seen them all grow. So from 0 to, we're hitting 10 now, aren't we? 10, 11. That all they've wanted is ever to be together in one place. Whether it's under Nanu's house, or they're all jumping around in a box.
It's true.
It's the truth.
No,
and that's one
how
thing.
We've grown up,
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think
they don't even.
But the problem is, we can't entertain. Going back to our older conversation, we can't entertain our kids in a singular household because we don't have relationships with our.
Exactly. I think
so now they have to find alternatives now. We have to find alternatives. Before, we can't go out to play on the streets, but we didn't have to go out to play on the streets. We had Nanu's house where all the kids would go and chill out. We had places we thingy. So all these expenses are coming because you're on your own now. So these are expensive. This is what I'm saying. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. We think in the long run we live in a happier life. Are we not shooting ourselves in the foot because actually we're isolating ourselves and then having to create alternatives to entertainment for ourselves? And we're all getting counseling now and therapists, and it's a new thing now. Everybody's going to therapists.
But I advocate.
No, I love that. But we had alhamdulillah natural therapists in the house. I grew up with my sisters. Even now, if I have a problem, they're the first ones I ring. We had therapy within our therapy little group. And
but I think obviously,
therapy I think it designed for our own household as well. It's not I'm going to a therapist that doesn't understand how we had therapy within our own people. We're having to pay for therapy now and counseling, and
you just don't want to pay for anything.
Yeah, I know. Why should I?
I'm obviously kidding, but
I know.
Just going back to the topic of femininity, I think I'm all for women empowerment and women's rights and stuff, but I do feel that in certain parts it's double standards, and also the fact that let me throw out this question. It might be a bit controversial. Do you think women are women anymore? Or do you think they're taking on a more masculine role in society? Not just, again, Muslim women, just women in general.
Yeah. Look, generally, I think if you're dressed in trainers and joggers, you act in a certain way as well. When you're dressed when we're taking on man's job, we're taking away, I think we're stripping them of their masculinity. So then they're allowing us to do more, and
they take a step back and then they think,
why not? Yeah. Why not? Because they don't know any better as well. If you come into their lives and you're somebody who does everything yourself, and the moment you stop and say it's your job, why is it not shared job? But I think if you set your boundaries from the start, Yeah, because we're made for the things, and we have enough jobs of our own to do than to take over your jobs.
Like you said earlier, that we shut ourselves down. We're the one that will come along when we've gone and got the groceries, and we're going and carrying the rice bags and the bag of onions, and we're doing it, and we're like, we're doing it, and then the men are sitting back and thinking, that's fine, she can do it, she did it once,
She's superwoman.
She's superwoman, she's going out to work, she's doing the grocery shopping. But I don't agree with that. It shouldn't be like this. It should be women should be women and men should be men when it comes to certain things. But
because actually, as well, I feel like when you take over a man's job, I think you're creating issues amongst yourself as well in your relationship as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because sometimes I pretend that I can't do something.
Right. I think Nilufer's going to go down a rabbit hole that we don't want to explore. So we'll park that comment there for now.
No, but I think it's something. I think he's onto something there. I think sometimes you have to pretend not to know to save thingy.
Can I just throw in something? Just throw in something there. Just on what Nilufer said, it's actually quite funny that you mentioned it. So about, I think 2 days ago, I watched an Instagram post, and it was meant to be a funny kind of thing. So basically, it's literally what you said. You do certain things, and the husband, probably doesn't know or may know, but decides not to mention anything. So this, I think it was an Indonesian or Malaysian lady. She was carrying something really heavy in her house. Obviously, it was just like a bit of a skit, and the husband walks in, and he's got this shocked look on his face because he's caught his wife doing something really heavy or carrying something really heavy. And the look of devastation on his face, and then he just walked out the house, and then the Instagram poster said, "Babe, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for you to catch me doing this." Something,
Because usually, I bet the lady asks him to carry the shopping.
Look, women, we're strong people. Like, if you can go through childbirth, then we can go through anything.
But do you think, going back to Nilufer's point, that we need to sometimes
we have to
pretend that we can't do something?
But look, like I remember,
the man feel like the man.
I remember my mom. Even I could eat with my own hands. But at the age of 28, I come home and she's feeding us.
Yeah.
She wants to express her maternalness.
And let them.
Yeah. And let them. If we take over, I think if you take over in a man's job, you're telling them you can't do the job properly. I'm going to do it for you. I think you're stripping them. And because we strip them, then they lose. They don't think they're the man, they're not the man anymore. So then it becomes a job for them. So if you've done it once and you ask them to do it, then it becomes a job.
I've noticed as well, car driving. I know it's not a big deal, but I've seen like the wife will jump into the driver's seat. I like to be a lady in that sense. I'm like, if you're in the car, you're in the driver's seat, and I'm in the I'm passenger princess when it comes to that.
Yeah.
You have to drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So let him drive. But I've seen women like, no, you can't drive. I'm right then. That's not me. I'm like,
well, maybe she might be car sick. You never know.
It might be that.
Look, I don't know. Yeah, I like the idea of women. And the funny thing is, if you look, I do everything myself. I've never had anyone drive me, or apart from dad and everything. But look, right? I'm fighting the cause of. You know what? I want to be let me be a woman. I want to sit in the passenger seat. I don't want to decide where we're going, what route we're taking, what. I just want to sit in the passenger. Let him do all that. I don't need to jump in either. You're going this way. Oh, turn right. Hey, why are you going the wrong way, man? What the hell?
Well, the problem is also we can't only blame the women, because men have. I don't know, just me generalizing, but men have become so laid back nowadays as well. They'll sit back, then we end up having to do everything because they're not doing it. The job won't get done if we don't do it. The job just doesn't get done. If I'm cooking, like tomorrow, just if I'm cooking, I know he's gonna lazy.
So this generation we're talking about, which generation is it? Because I know my dad's generation.
Yeah,
that's oh my god, my dad nothing would allow anything.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
So what's our generation? Who's listening? The audience there could be 20-year-olds thinking, which generation are they on about? Because I think now actually the roles are reversing in the younger generation, isn't it? I think it's going back.
Yeah, I think it's going back.
I think it's going back because the youngsters are getting married younger.
Yeah.
So our generation, what's happened is, I think,
we're the lost generation.
We are the lost generation, unfortunately. Honestly,
because the next generation, Nuha's right.
Yeah, they're acting. We were a lost generation. We didn't have a role. We had it was conflict between two cultures. Our parents, we saw their struggles, and then we had to step up, and we had to do all this. And then now this generation, though, they've got it nice and easy. Now we're even struggling to find partners and husbands and all that kind of, because we're the lost generation. I was
Yeah, but the
struggling.
next generation is true. I've
The
seen
next
it.
generation, yeah, the women,
Women are being the women.
the girls are the girls, and the
yeah.
boys and boys.
Boys, yes.
And I think that is because, again, they're getting married younger, so they can, before they get to a stage where they're taking on responsibilities, already they're delegating that
I
responsibility.
need a man in my life.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Sorry.
I mean, I was going to ask you guys. So, what do you think of people who believe 50-50 in relationships? Obviously, we know Islamically what the what score is, but genuinely, there are people out there who say no, men 50, women 50, both the girls and the boys.
Do you mean financially, or what do you mean?
Financially, literally everything they do.
No, I
do
don't agree with that.
50-50.
Then I can live by myself. Then.
Yeah.
No, it's true, isn't
Yeah,
it?
not have the headache.
Have the headache. I can work full time and get all 100%.
100% of it. Yeah, I agree.
I can have an easy, nice life.
Man should do the work, his job, whatever, and the woman should do the maternal side thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, look after the
Do
children.
you know, even as an auntie, me, looking after and being able to give the kids whatever they want and things, it makes me feel like good. Yeah, they should. I know that at the moment they're thinking, I haven't got any money in my pocket. How can I
Cost of living there,
and so. But again, we need to notch down as women as well. I'm not just blaming the men as. We don't need a hi-fi. We don't need a second car. We don't need. If we're at home, then I don't. I know you're looking at me like, what? Yeah. I've got this different thingy. But yeah,
you know what it is another culture. Nobody goes to nobody's house. Even friends, we don't go to each other's houses. So we go out for like breakfast, and the breakfast will cost like £15 a meal and a drink.
Just to make it at home.
Yeah, but we don't. Everybody goes out for a breakfast outside.
Remember Nasta back in the days?
Yeah.
Mom, them like everybody used to come, so and so from Alpha used to come round in the evening, and that's all we used to do: have coffee and thingy, what do you call sa and pakora.
So we need to work for that breakfast even. Out.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think this is probably another topic for another day, but I do feel like there has been a decline in just like randomly popping into people's houses. Even, for example, when you, like I say, for example, Nuha, I scheduled to meet up with you. I might be a person of my word, like, okay, 7 o'clock on a Monday evening, I will definitely be at your house at that time. But then there are people where, for example, even though you scheduled it in advance, you still, even the day before, have to say, are we still okay to meet?
Yeah.
Whereas if you ask me, are we still meeting? I'll be like, yeah, we scheduled it like a month ago.
Yeah,
but you have to do the check-in. Yeah.
But then Nuha will be like, well, no, you need to double check with me the day before in case anything's happened or in case I got other priorities.
Look,
no, I'm not gonna go even.
No. I'm saying like even though it's because now our job roles, we're doing nights, weekends, late. There isn't a normal 8 to 5 anymore. You can't just pop into people's houses, even if they are okay with. They're cool people. They're all right for you to pop into their messy little homes that they haven't tidied because they haven't got time because they're working.
Well, get the money made.
That's the point, isn't it? Because the house is messy. It's not because nobody wants you in the house. It's because you're thinking, oh my God.
And it's crazy because back then the house wasn't an IKEA
But everybody's house wasn't an IKEA room. That's why.
But now it's become this thing where there shouldn't be a crease in the sofa.
Yeah.
I agree with you there. I think there's maybe it's our generation, but we have to make the house look like it's not lived in.
Yeah.
Yes. So even then, if you've got, it's crazy because it is nice. People's houses are nice and it is set up.
Yeah. And we wouldn't mind. We would never actually go into.
So if somebody did just turn up, it is set up nicely. Yeah. But even then, you can't.
But mentally as well, people aren't prepared for guests because, like, if I'm on a night shift, I come and then they're saying, "Oh, are they coming over?" Even though I'm free at that time, I'm awake and I'm just.
What do you mean prepared for food?
Mentally, no. Mentally, they're not prepared.
Okay.
Not because of because they're waking up and everybody's tired in their head from work, or the battery's dead, social battery's dying. We're all dying.
Well, you say that, but then you're on TikTok for like 6 hours.
No.
On Instagram for another
I'm actually not.
Yeah.
I'm actually not. Instagram or Facebook. I don't even have a telly in the house.
Right, guys. I think we're wrapping up soon.
Can I just make a disclaimer, by the way, as well? I'm not saying that. No, because I know there might be people living in households and thinking, oh yeah, she doesn't know what we have to go through in extended family household. I'm not saying that there isn't struggles. That's a different topic as well. And like from our religion, alhamdulillah, has given us guidelines on how to treat a wife. Everyone has rights, everyone has, and we're talking not religiously, because if we followed religiously, then alhamdulillah, everything would be, yeah.
For not following.
Yeah.
It's like going back to Nilifa's point where, for example, the comfortness, being able to, for example, just walk to the toilet without a hijab on, or carrying the child comfortably, not worrying about exposing herself, them sort of things. Then
that's a whole different that's a whole different topic, because I know we can't live in a household like that if the mother-in-law is interfering, and if the husband isn't giving you rights, and if the sister-in-law is doing this or whatever not. So that's a different topic for everybody who's listening and thinking she doesn't have a clue. I know there's struggles in that. So inshallah, maybe we'll have talking about family ties next time, inshallah.
No, definitely. Pardon me, I've got a really bad cough today. But I think really. I think there may be some other guests of the supernatural kind that's joined us today. Welcome, ahlan wa sahlan. Again, just thank you both for your time. And Nilfa, is there anything else you'd like to add in before we end the session?
No. Well, I'm going back to the wedding house now. We have sister-in-law duties. We'll talk about that on the next one. I think that's
it's good, the blessings of just keeping people, our religion. That's all I just want. Whether it's Jummah, whether it's the congregation, whether our religion encourages people and gatherings and praying in Jummah and the
Salah, you'll get 27 times more reward. And what blew my mind was a few years back, probably like 7-8 years ago now, was again this, I don't know if it was an imam or whatever, he's a speaker, and he goes, imagine this, you're getting rewarded for attending a wedding. Just going to eat and sit there like a lemon, you're getting rewarded. So that's amazing.
I think so. That's the difference between, I think, Muslim, Mu'min, Muhsin. When we strive for excellence, even if we're struggling,
intention as well, isn't it? Yeah. But Jazakallah khair, guys. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I know you guys were, really short on time today. So I hope today's topic has covered a few things that we wanted to discuss, and I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, our dear listeners. So do like, subscribe, comment, share. And inshallah, we'll see you back in a fortnight. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi. Now we can see it.
Thank you for listening to Mundane Mysteries of a Muslim. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.